You might have seen many movies about robberies where thieves loot money or valuables from a moving train. However, today we are not going to tell you a movie script, but a real-life incident that actually happened. Today, we will tell you about a train robbery in history that was the biggest train heist executed in true movie style. The most astonishing part? This robbery was carried out without any firearms, using just an iron rod. Let's find out how a group of just 15 men managed to loot nearly 300 million pounds, approximately 300 crore BDT and INR equivalent, from a moving train in just 15 minutes, creating a heist so clean that no immediate clues were left behind. The blueprint of the robbery, named the Royal Mail. On August 7, 1963, at 7 p.m., it departed from Glasgow, bound for London. On board were 72 post office employees responsible for sorting letters and parcels. The train was scheduled to arrive in London the following morning after an approximately 12-hour journey. The train consisted of 12 carriages. Right behind the engine was the HVP, or High Value Packages coach, carrying around $2.6 million at the time, equivalent to roughly $300 million, or 300 crore in modern valuation. The gang of robbers had begun planning this heist a month in advance after receiving insider information from train staff that a massive sum of money was being transported to London. The plan was simple yet daring. Stop the train midway and steal the cash.
Assembling the expert team. The robbers executed the plan with incredible speed, but surprisingly, they used no firearms, only an iron rod to haul away 128 sacks filled with banknotes. The masterminds behind this robbery were Gordon Goody, Buster Edwards, and Bruce Reynolds. Although experienced criminals, they had no prior experience with train robberies. To bridge this gap, they recruited 3 notorious British criminals expert in train heists. Additionally, a former train driver was brought in for his technical knowledge of trains, along with a technician named John Daly/Roger Corddry, whose job was to tamper with the railway signals. In total, a team of 15 experts was assembled. Executing the heist. A few hours before the train was set to reach London, the gang arrived at a railway signal along the route. Cleverly, they covered the green signal light with a piece of cloth and used a battery to light up the red signal instead. At around 3 a.m. on August 8, the train reached the signal. Driven by 58-year-old Jack Mills, the train came to an immediate halt when he saw the red light. As soon as the train stopped, the 15 robbers boarded simultaneously. One of them entered the engine cab and struck driver Jack Mills on the head with an iron rod, knocking him unconscious. They then moved quickly to the carriage right behind the engine, containing the high-value packages. Having already parked a getaway truck nearby, the robbers loaded 128 sacks of cash into the truck in just 15 minutes and fled. Most of the stolen cash consisted of £1 and £5 notes. The investigation and aftermath. 5 days after the robbery, the police received a tip-off. A resident from a small colony near a farmhouse, located about 20 miles from the crime scene, reported unusual vehicular movement and unfamiliar faces coming and going, something that had never happened before. Police raided the farmhouse immediately. Although the robbers had already fled, officers found 20 empty mail sacks used as evidence. Forensic experts managed to retrieve fingerprints from the scene. Further investigation led police to a florist named John Weeder/Associates connected to the farmhouse. Upon his arrest, his fingerprints matched those found at the hideout. This breakthrough eventually led to the arrest of 12 gang members, though 3 remained missing.
The verdict and the unsolved mystery. The court sentenced 11 of the 12 arrested men to 30 years in prison. 5 years later, in 1968, the remaining 3 suspects were caught and handed similar sentences. However, shortly after, one of them managed to escape from prison. Police rigorously interrogated the convicts, knowing a robbery of this scale was impossible without an inside informant who knew exact timing and amounts. Despite intense interrogation, none of the robbers ever revealed the identity of the insider. In the end, police managed to recover only about 10% of the stolen money. The remaining 90% was never found. To this day, this incident remains one of the most famous and legendary heists in British history.